too, and we're live on Facebook and YouTube, and we're live in Twitter Spaces. We're live all over the place. All right, cool. And I got to get that off so that echo's not there. Okay, cool. All right. Hey, heck of a show for you today. Jordan Peterson is going to be popping up on the show today. We're also going to be talking about the craziest stuff that happened, absolutely crazy stuff that happened yesterday. I went around in a time machine. It was nuts, like time warped. It was crazy. I'm going to talk to you about some in-depth conversations that I had with some incredible people. And we are going to talk about all them dang emails and voicemails that you've got currently on your phone that you haven't answered, replied to, cleaned up, taken care of, or any of those things. We're going to talk about that. We're going to have some real hard truths today. That's what's going to happen. So listen, thanks for being here with me. I hope you're ready. It's time to rise and grind. Good morning and welcome to #Rise and Grind, the #1 morning show in the world filled with motivation, education, and inspiration. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to 1, father to 8, and the founder of the 800% Club, the club designed to help you unlock your full potential. Each episode is filled with celebrity interviews, inspiring conversations, and the strategies you need to get ahead in your career and your life. So grab your pen and turn up the volume because it's time to rise and grind. Yeah, so I think it helps a little bit when I plug the thing into the Rodecaster over there, the phone into the Rodecaster, so that you guys can actually hear the music and whatnot. That's probably very, very, very helpful. Hey, good morning. Today is Thursday, March 23rd. Unbelievable. Thursday, March 23rd, 2023. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Thursday, March 23rd, 2023. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. Hey, listen, I just got back from Florida, and I think I brought the weather with me. I'm very, very confident that I did, because we're looking at a balmy 75 degrees today right here in Kentucky, which I'm super, super excited about. Hey, my friends over there on Facebook, do me a favor, tag some people, share it out. You know what you got to do. I can always tell when we've been live for a couple minutes and that number is like where it is. That means people are having a hard time finding the show. Those of you who are on Twitter Spaces, you're definitely going to want to watch full production today. So make sure you come over to official Glenn Lundy so that you can do that. But those of you that are already on Facebook, tag your friends, hit the share button. It's crazy how they hide this show, and we got to go out there and find the people. But that's what we do, right? That's what we do. So listen, 75 degrees today. I am happy to be home right here in Lexington, Kentucky. It is beautiful here today. Happy to be home. Now, Tuesday night, I was not home. Tuesday night, I went down to Miami on Tuesday night and celebrated Grant Cardone's 65th birthday with him and Elena Cardone down there in Miami. It was amazing. And then yesterday, I got up and got up early, did the show, went for a run, ran 3 miles out there, and then basically started the day in Miami. I was at the Turnberry, JW Marriott Turnberry, started the day in Miami. From Miami, it was just amazing. From Miami, I jumped on our jet and took the jet and flew over to Tampa, which was just a fairly short flight, less than an hour. Flew over to Tampa, Florida, landed on Davis Island, which was absolutely beautiful. Had my CMA day training, got to spend time with actually the general managers of Carter Myers Automotive Group. I did a lot of listening and a lot of learning, more than training, yesterday, which was cool. Did that from Davis Island, which was amazing. And then my friend Adi Arazzini, who you guys may remember, interviewed her here on the show a while back. She was the founder, CEO of Teamy Blends, company which she ultimately just sold recently, which I'm very proud of her for that. And so met up with her. She gave me a ride over to Brandon, Florida, where I had a 90-minute session with Brad Wise and his incredible people over at Furman Chevrolet, right? So we were at Furman Chevrolet. So we started in Miami, then we went to Davis Island, then we went to Brandon. Then after I got done with that, Laura Sanchez, who's the most incredible sales manager. She's a sales manager in the car business. Laura gave me a ride back to the jet, hopped on the jet, quick trip over to Jacksonville, Florida, flew over to Jacksonville, Florida, where I landed in Jacksonville, Florida, and got to do my 800% club training with owners and general managers of car dealerships all over the country. And Wednesdays is when we have our newer members to the group. So it's always really, it's just really incredible. It's awesome. So I don't miss it. If I don't have to, I do not miss. So I'm like, drop this plane down in Jacksonville so that I can spend an hour with my dealers. So then after that, back on the jet, baby. That's right. Back on the jet. And we go from Jacksonville and we fly up to Lexington, Kentucky, where I am home in time for dinner. All right. So we start in Miami. We go to Davis Island. We go to Brandon. We go to Jacksonville. We have multiple meetings. We have multiple training sessions. I get to meet and spend time with amazing people, and then I'm home in time for dinner. Now, there was one problem with that. I was home in time for dinner. However, my family had dinner a little bit early. So Savannah had a Bible study. So when I got home, nobody was there. Nobody was home. It was just a big old empty house. I was like, man, I went through all this to make sure that I was home so I could have dinner with my wife and my children. And my wife's like, oh, we ate early. Savannah had Bible study. I'm like, all right, cool. So, but I was home by 6 p.m., man, which was freaking crazy, right? Like to be able to do all of those things, hit all of those spaces, the opportunities that it creates. Unbelievable, right? So then once I was home, I had an amazing conversation with my dear friend, Liza Myers-Borges, the owner of Carter Myers Automotive Group. Had an amazing, like just truly phenomenal conversation with her, and then wrapped up the night having an equally as incredible conversation with the great Tim Story, right? This guy, Tim Story, he's an incredible guy. If you're not following or connected with Tim Story, he's amazing. Which, by the way, Ramon, who's in the room, Tim Story said once everything is rolling on Twitter Spaces, he would like to participate in Breakfast with Champions on a consistent basis over in the Twitter Spaces realm. He wants to jump over there as well. So I told him I would let you know that. We will make that happen, right? So that was yesterday. All in a day, man. Freaking crazy, right? And now here I am. I'm home. I'm back in Lexington, and I'm excited to spend time with my team today. So today, my team, Thursdays is when we're all in office. So we have our company is built around a culture of freedom and responsibility. And here's what I mean by that is we are all adults. And so everyone is free to work their own schedules and choose when they're gonna come into the office and when they're not gonna come into the office. They're all free to choose that. Now there is the responsibility that we have to drive a result, right? So you're free to do as you please as long as you perform at a excellent level. That's how we've built our company. We have basically one policy, which is always act in the best interest of the company. And this is something that we learned from studying Netflix. They have a culture of freedom and responsibility as well. And so within that culture of freedom and responsibility and the flexibility for them to do what they would like to do with their schedules, Thursdays is an in-office day. So Thursdays, everyone spends time in office. That way we can collaborate, build those relationships. I think it's important that we get face-to-face on a lot of things, and we get a lot of things done on Thursdays. So super excited to spend today with my team. And it's cool because we have like new team members, right? The team's grown. Everything right now really feels new. If I'm being honest, everything feels new. Like new team members, we have a new office, we have new products that we're releasing. Obviously, we have a new jet, a new time machine. Shouldn't even call it a jet. We have a new time machine. I have a new title, which Tim Story and I talked a lot about last night. I have a new title of the #1 speaker in America. New goals, new targets. Everything feels new. And when things are new, there's always challenges, right, with that, right? Anytime it's a process. Change, struggle, grow, succeed. Change, struggle, grow, succeed. Change, struggle, grow, succeed. So anything new comes with challenges. So we have a lot of things that are new, which means we also have a lot of challenges. 'Tis the season. But just like any other season, all seasons come to pass. So what's new today won't be tomorrow. The challenges of today will lead us to the successes of tomorrow. That's how seasons work. And currently, right now, we're in this season of spring. It's what they tell me. Now, it's been super, super cold. Now, today, I'll give it credit. Today's warm, but we're in the season of spring. And in the season of spring comes spring break here in America. It's just something that we do every year, spring break. And this week here on the show, we've been breaking down how we can win even when we're on a break, right? Like we broke down how important successful morning routines are, even when you're on a break. We broke down how you can break into your creativity while you're on a break and actually move yourself forward, not lose any momentum. And of course, yesterday we broke down how important it is to never break your character, knowing exactly who you are. And though you might be on a break from the normal day to day, that doesn't mean we break away from what makes us the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. And so we've been breaking down this spring break thing all week. And today we're going to add another layer to it. Before we do, though, you know what we got to do. All right, you know what we got to do on the show. Okay, I like that beat. Yeah, I like that beat. Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that okay over on Twitter Spaces? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up, Dora Maria. Somebody, if you guys can hear that over on Twitter Spaces. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Mary Lynn Wilkins says, yes, we can hear that. Okay, good. I love it. Man, this song right here, so check it out, man. You guys got to start diving into the AI world. Like, you really got to start diving into the AI world. Like, this is the part of the show where we dance, right? We get our bodies in motion. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. This is also the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button, right? If you're on Facebook, share it out right now. Please hit that share button. Those of you that are in Twitter Spaces, we need you to tweet it out, right? Tweety, tweet. Tweety, tweet. You guys hear me on Twitter Spaces? I don't see the little microphone thing moving under my face. Yes. Okay, good. You guys are so helpful over there. Thank you. Right? On Twitter Spaces, I need you to tweet this out. What's up, Ken Cook? This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. All right? Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up. I'll say what's up back. Stephanie Toadvine, good morning. Vicki Everett, good morning. Ken Cook, great to see you. I'm only seeing 3 comments on Facebook. What is going on today, man? Technology is crazy. Russell Tabone, great to see you this morning. Dora Maria, good morning. Justin, I'm so glad you're here. Jeff Moffitt, Christina Howard, good morning. Good morning. How you doing, Debbie Dowling Waba? I see TM. I see Ramon and MacTite Radio. Scott Simons, Jafar is in the building. Kayvon, is that Kayvon? Yeah, that is Kayvon. Good morning, sir. I'm so glad you're here. Natasha's in the building. Clarissa and Renee, great to see you. Tony Lucas, great to see you as well. Kevin Fadley is in the building. The Queen, Renee Noor. My boy, Chris Boyette. I was messaging with Chris late last night. Tarika Simmons, great to see you. Sonia Merritt in the building. Hey, this jam right here. So I made this song this morning. I made it. I created it using AI tools. I am not a songwriter. I am not a beat writer. I am not any of those things. I'm not a video editor, and I made 120 pieces of video content on Sunday in an hour. You gotta get into these AI tools, man. This song right here, it was like, okay, broadcasting, fast-paced, get some drums in there. Like, I just clicked like 4 or 5 buttons, and it's like, boom, dropped this song. I'm like, okay, I like this. I like this, man. Well, thanks, Stephanie. I appreciate that. Dude, I'm telling you, you guys have got to start diving into some of these AI tools. It's far more than just ChatGPT. Video tools, music tools, all these things, man. All these things I was never able to do, I'm now able to do, and it's amazing. Super, super cool. Hey, check it out. Thanks for joining me here digitally. Love it. We're going to be together live in Dallas. April 13th and 14th. I would love for you to be there. We are having the Champions Business Conference. That is in Dallas, Texas, Friday, April 13th and 14th. You can go to bwcdaily.com/bwcdaily bwcdaily.com/Dallas23, maybe. Something like that. It's very close. Just go to bwcdaily.com. You'll be able to find it. All right. So meet me in Dallas. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be amazing. Also, I did want to let you know, I love bringing people together, equipping them with the tools they need to succeed, and inspiring them to be great. And one of the ways that we've been able to do that is I work with a lot of people in the automotive industry, and I know a lot of people that like to buy cars. And so if you are in the market, if you need a vehicle or you know someone who needs a vehicle, send them to shop.800eliteauto.com. Shop.800eliteauto.com. This allows you to shop all of our 800% Club dealers all over North America. We're talking United States, we're talking Canada, like all the way across the board. Shop.800eliteauto.com. You can walk in and say, hey, I got a friend in the car business. I need to talk to the owner. I need to talk to somebody. I am a part of 800% Club, and that's a fact, Jack. Shop.800eliteauto.com. It's awesome. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to bring Jordan Peterson in here in just a second. He's got some words of wisdom for you, and then we'll continue the rest of the show.
So imagine you're dealing with someone who's hoarding. Now, people who are hoarding are often older or neurologically damaged, or they have obsessive compulsive disorder. But then you walk into their house and there's like 10,000 things in their house. There's maybe 100 boxes, and you open up a box, and in the box there's some pens and some old passports and some checks and their collection of silver dollars and some hypodermic needles and some dust and, a dead mouse. And there's boxes and boxes and boxes like that in the house. It's absolute chaos in there. Absolute chaos, not order, chaos. And then you think, is that their house, or is that their being? Is that their mind? And the answer is, there's no difference. There's no difference. So, I could say, well, if you want to organize your psyche, you could start by organizing your room. If that would be easier, because maybe you're a more concrete person and you need something concrete to do. So you go clean up under your bed, and you make your bed, and you organize the papers on your desk, and you think, well, just exactly what are you organizing? Are you organizing the objective world, or are you organizing your field of being, like your field of total experience? And Jung believed that And I think there's a Buddhist doctrine that's sort of nested in there that at the highest level of psychological integration, there's no difference between you and what you experience. Now you think, well, I can't control everything I experience, but that's no objection because you can't control yourself anyway. So the mere fact that you can't extend control over everything you experience is no argument against the idea that you should still treat that as an extension of yourself. Well, let's say you have a long-standing feud with your brother. Well, is that a psychological problem? Is that him? Is it a problem in the objective world, or is it a problem in your field of being? And it's very useful to think that way, because you might ask, what could you do to improve yourself? Well, let's step one step backwards. The first question might be, why should you even bother improving yourself? And I think the answer to that is something like, so you don't suffer any more stupidly than you have to. And maybe so others don't have to either. It's something like that. You know, like there's a real injunction at the bottom of it. It's not some casual self-help doctrine. It's that if you don't organize yourself properly, you'll pay for it, and in a big way, and so will the people around you. And you could say, well, I don't care about that, but that's actually not true. You actually do care about that, because if you're in pain, you will care about it. And so you do care about it, even if it's just that negative way. It's very rare that you can find someone who's in excruciating pain who would ever say, well, it would be no better if I was out of this. Sort of pain is one of those things that brings the idea that it would be better if it didn't exist along with it. It's incontrovertible. So you get your act together so that there isn't any more stupid pain around you than necessary. Well, so then the question might be, well, how would you go about getting your act together? And the answer to that, and this is a phenomenological idea too, it's something like, look around for something that bothers you and see if you can fix it. You can do this in a room. It's quite fun to do it just when you're sitting in a room, like a room, maybe your bedroom. You can sit there and just sort of meditate on it and think, okay, if I wanted to spend 10 minutes making this room better, what would I have to do? And you have to ask yourself that, right? It's not a command, it's like a genuine question. And things will pop out in the room that you know, like there's a stack of papers over there that's kind of bugging you, and you know that maybe a little order there would be a good thing, and you know, there's some rubbish behind your computer monitor that you haven't attended to for like 6 months, and the room would be slightly better if it was a little less dusty and the cables weren't all tangled up the same way. And if you allow yourself just to consider the expanse in which you exist at that moment, there'll be all sorts of things that'll pop out in it that you could just fix. And you know, I might say, well, if you were coming to see me for psychotherapy, this easiest thing for us to do first would just be to get you to organize your room. You think, well, is that psychotherapy? And the answer is, well, it depends on how you conceive the limits of your being. And I would say, start where you can start. You know, if something announces itself to you, which is a strange way of thinking about it, as in need of repair, that you could repair, then, hey, fix it. You fix 100 things like that, your life will be a lot different. You know, I often tell
From decluttering your physical space to organizing your digital space, now is a great time for you to streamline and focus on your success. For starters, the email thing has to go. And it's got to go today. You know, that email thing where you've got thousands of unopened emails in your inbox, or you have email after email that's sitting in some archived file because one day you're going to obviously need that for some reason, or go back, or whatever you convinced yourself to be the truth. The email thing has got to go. I have seen it on phone after phone after phone. There's a little number up there in the corner, 2,000, 10,000. Go ahead and drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat over here on Facebook and over on Twitter. If you're one of those people that has that number in the corner of emails, and I want to know what that number is. How do I see that on Twitter? All right, when I look at the little chatty thing, I see retweets, but how do I actually see the numbers? You guys are going to have to teach me that. All right, but drop it in the chat, and Facebook's being really weird. I can barely see anything over there. So drop it in the chat too if you can. The number of emails in the corner. I want to see those. If that's you, that's got to go today. It's got to go today. The second thing, the voicemail thing. The voicemail thing has got to go today. I'm talking to myself just as much as I'm talking to y'all. Right? The voicemail thing has got to go. I'm showing 17 voicemails right now on my phone. And that number would probably be higher if it would hold anymore. But it won't. It won't hold anymore, right? 17 voicemails. That number's got to go today. 20,000. Sonia says she's got 20,000 emails. Danielle Baldwin says just says 99 plus. 99 plus. That's all it says. And I really don't know. Ramon is a 0 emails inbox guy. Yes, I know that you've somehow figured out that master. I always think about you when my email gets cut up. Voicemail is clear except messages from my mom so I can hear her voice, says Debbie Dowling. That's very sweet. I love that. All right. Okay. Mabel says email is bad between work and personal. It's high, but her voicemail is 0. Okay, good. Just voicemail is 0. Disagree on the voicemail thing. I have messages from my dad, and I have saved them and been grateful. I totally get that. I'm not talking about the archived voicemail. I'm not talking about the saved voicemail. I'm talking about the notification in your corner of the voicemails that you have not answered, that you have not listened to. That's what I'm talking about. My phone right now shows that I have 17 unopened voicemails. I have not gone in and listened to those. That's what I'm talking about, right? These are the things that we have to clear up. The clothes that you have harvested that are in your closet that you haven't worn since you were like in high school. It's time for those to go. Today, this weekend, they got to go. The tools and the subscriptions that you signed up for that you don't use anymore, they got to go. Ramon's got a tool where you can like flag anything that has the word unsubscribe in it or something. In Gmail, you can have Gmail, anything that says unsubscribe, and you can get rid of those, right? But any tools and subscriptions you're not using, now's the time. Dude, I just did this the other day. Hootsuite. We used to use Hootsuite like four years ago to schedule our posts on different social medias. It's like $300 something a year. And every year, we haven't used it in years, and every year it triggers for $300 something. And I'm like, yeah, I need to get rid of that thing. But then it says, well, don't cancel right now because you just paid for another year. So, maybe you will use it. And then I hold on to it. And then another year goes by. And then I get dinged for another $300. Your subscriptions, the tools you're not using, they got to go. That bad habit that you recently developed, now's the time. It's got to go. Listen to me. Here, listen. COVID was 3 years ago. Just let that sit in for a second. This is how fast time is going. COVID was 3 years ago. It's been 3 years since the start of that crazy season. That's how fast time is going, right? It's like warp speed. And it is not going to slow down for you at all. It is going to be summer in no time. The leaves are going to be turning before you know it. Christmas pajamas are going to be here before you can even think about it. And yet another year of your life will be behind you. You do not have time to waste. It is urgent that you and I both get decluttered physically and digitally so that we can keep stepping into the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. So that we can streamline our success. We have to break away from this lack mindset, this lack mentality where we're holding on to things that no longer serve us. You see, when we have these things that are cluttered and unkept and untaken care of, when we have all of these areas, we're stepping over them, right? We're having to step over these obstacles in order to get to the success that we want, in order to get to the production that we want, or in order to get the efficiencies that we want. So I want you to just imagine like when you're walking around in a dark room and you know that there are objects, right, in that room. How do you walk around very slowly and cautiously, and you're like touching with your foot to make sure you don't step on a Lego or a toy in my case, or whatever, right? Like you can't, when it's dark, you're moving slowly and cautiously because you know there's objects in the way. And that's basically what's happening for you. It's what's happening in your physical existence and your mental existence. Is as long as this clutter exists, as long as these unorganized pieces of your life are there, as long as that's there, you're moving at the pace, you're only moving at a pace that you can move at in a dark room filled with obstacles. Whereas when we clean that out, now we can move with efficiency, right? We turn on the light, we see there's no obstacles in the way. We turn the light back off and we can zip over to the bed, right? That's what we need to do in our lives. Get rid of these obstacles that are slowing you down so that you can streamline your success. It is urgent, absolutely urgent that we pick up the pace. Life is flying by. And I know for a fact you want to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. Not an average version, not a below average version, not even a little bit above average version. You want to be the best version of you that you can possibly be. And I love that about you. I do. If nobody's told you yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. So let's start today with what we see and what we can fix, like Jordan Peterson was talking about. What can we fix right now? Let's look around the room and go, okay, I've been meaning to clean that little pile up. I'm going to get it cleaned up. I've got the little bubble on my phone that says I got a bunch of emails. I got to delete the emails. I got the voicemail deal. I'm going to take care of the voicemail deal. My closet, I'm going to take some time this weekend, get rid of the crap I'm not wearing anymore, right? Just baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. And as you clean up these cluttered areas of your lives, you're going to start to notice that your successes, your wins come more frequent and come faster. And that's what I'm talking about. Does that sound fair? All right, cool. All right, listen. That's it for today's episode. Thanks for dealing with some of the technological challenges that come along with this live show of hashtag Rise and Grind. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you go out there and have an amazing, amazing day decluttering today. I hope you have an amazing day. And then I'll be back 5:30 a.m. tomorrow. We'll do this all over again. I should be here in Lexington unless something changes. For those of you that are on Twitter, I'm going to go hang out over there in Twitter Spaces for the next 20-25 minutes or so. So you're welcome to come hang out with me there and have a discussion. We can talk about what we just talked about. That's right. Cool. All right. Either way, I'll see you tomorrow, 5:30 a.m. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. Hashtag rise and grind. Hashtag rise and grind. First thing on my mind, early in the morning time. Daily motivation, feeling so divine. Waking up the nation. Hashtag rise and grind. Hashtag rise and grind. Grind, 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 grind. Hashtag rise and grind. First thing on my mind, early in the morning time. Daily motivation, feeling so divine. Waking up the nation. Hashtag rise and grind. Hashtag rise and grind.
Don't stop, get it, get it.
Hashtag rise and
Don't stop, get it, get it.
waking up the nation. Hashtag rise and grind. Waking up the nation. Hashtag rise and grind. Good morning. On my feet before the sunrise. Stepped into my greatness, feeling powerful and energized. Thankful to be alive. Hashtag blessed. Write my mission, vision, values, and my gratitude list. I'm building up momentum. I'm making good decisions. I rise, I grind, I get it. Ain't no doubt that I'm committed. Cause who really loses if I don't win? Can't cheat the grind, only get what you put in. So I'm mastering my mentals. I'm focused on my physical. I'm developing spiritually and manifesting miracles. I'm gonna get it started, have a party.